What's going on, everybody? Nico with the Wooden Spoon. We have another episode of The Sit Down. I'm joined by Giovanni Troini. You may have seen him on Temptation Island this past season, and I'm super pumped to talk to him and kind of dive into one of the most viral shows in today, right now. How's it going?
Yeah, man, I'm glad to be here. Anything Italian, any sort of community Italian, I got to jump in, got to support. So, I'm excited to talk to you. I love your content. Everything's going well. Just out here in Miami, just working day by day, living life.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, right off the bat, like when they were doing the intros, believe it or not, I'm kind of a reality TV fan. My wife kind of got me into it, so it's just kind of like picking out the shows that I like, and then we saw Temptation Island. I was like, all right, I think we could get behind this. And then obviously saw you say that you're Italian, and right off the bat, I go, got my favorite person of the season.
Yeah, there's not a lot of Italians or Italian American representation on TV anymore, so I had to show it out there. And you know how we are. We show our pride a lot. So I'm glad.
Definitely, definitely. I want to just first like applaud you being a good representation of Italian Americans for sure. Not showing off, not being overly cocky, not being like a stereotype, but yourself, and you represented the community well. So I wanted to applaud you on that.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I think a lot of people, lean into now, because Italians were kind of like an older wave of immigration, so they got kind of a new stereotype of too Italian American, and they lose a lot of tradition from, where our family comes from, and I don't know if you've lived there, you've been there, obviously, but I used to live in Italy, and it's a very different culture than what goes on in the Italian culture here in America. Like
Definitely.
even
Where did you live in Italy?
I lived in Perugia, Macerata, in Frosinone.
Oh,
So
very, very cool. How long did you live there for? Did you like, were you born there or did you just spend some
no, no, I was born out here in the States, and then I moved there like a couple of times. Lived there like a total of 4 years. I played soccer a little bit, and then I went to school. I was just out there living because I mean it's a nice place to live, and it's a different lifestyle, So you gotta know where you come from as well, and you gotta understand your culture, not
time?
just be on TV or you hear from people, right?
That's one thing, like now that because I've only been there once. I actually got married in Italy. My wife and I eloped there. So, but like after going, it's a different experience. That's why I like push everybody like, "Oh, I have never been to Italy." Especially if you're Italian American, just pull the trigger. It's worth the money. Like just whatever you got to do to get there, even if it's just a week, like just spend some time, go see where your family's from, and then you'll truly get like a true appreciation of your roots.
Yeah, I think it goes for any country or wherever you or your family's from. I think if you want to represent yourself properly and your culture, like you got to understand, your traditions, where you come from. So it's good to spend time, wherever you're from, go check out your homeland, where your family's from. Hopefully, if you have relatives over there, spend time with them, make some friends. It's super important.
I absolutely 100% agree. Actually, because you're wearing the jersey, it like just sparked a memory. I actually went to see a CDA game there. We saw Lazio play. And like for those of you who've never seen like international like soccer, football, it's a different sports experience. One of the best sports experiences of my life. We saw Ciro Immobile play when he was still playing for Lazio and just like it blows like American football out of the water. Like the passion of the fans, just the absolute just craziness. It's something to see.
Yeah, the tradition behind sports over there, especially soccer, is amazing. So I mean, the culture shock is like I know it's huge for Americans, and it's amazing. It's a lot of fun, and it's something different. And you're not going to get rinsed hundreds or thousands of dollars for a ticket to sit in the bleachers. So it's nice everyone could have the opportunity to join, and that's why it's a big community thing over there. It's not just the sport, but the whole community comes together. If you come from like a small town, I played like one season I played in like a lower division team, but it was like a small town that doesn't matter. The whole town comes together, and it's huge. It's like a huge party. It's so fun.
That's awesome. It's kind of like yeah, maybe kind of comparing it to like football, like even high school football down in like small towns and
Yeah,
like down south and stuff. So
yeah,
awesome. So let's talk Temptation Island. For those that maybe don't aren't 100% familiar, it's a reality TV show where they had four couples go in. They split the couples, and then so the four guys got to spend time in a villa with 12 girls, and then the four girls spent time in the villa with 12 guys. You were obviously one of the 12 guys. So kind of walk us through like the process. Like how did you even get on the show?
yeah. So It's similar for a lot of us. Like, casting directors or producers will reach out to you on whatever social media or, a referral from a friend. And then you just kind of go from there and you do a bunch of interviews with producers and directors and you just do like a bunch of those. And then eventually you end up over there. If they like you, they'll call you back. If not, then, on to the next one or they didn't want you. But that's basically the process. I know some of the people applied, like casting directors will post a application somewhere or online and a few people applied, but a lot of us got reached out to. So that's how I ended up on there.
Very cool. So, I mean, how long is that process like from like them reaching out to you actually like even like show it was in Hawaii, right?
Yeah, I was in
Show,
Hawaii.
yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I want to say it was around a few weeks, maybe a month. I know some people it could be like 2 months because you're just waiting on a call, right? The whole process, if let's say they all did it right away, it could take like just a few days to a week. But they have to call this person, then they got to wait for this person. So it's a little different for everybody. I think mine was a few weeks to a month, maybe. But just most of it was just waiting. Like I got a call this week, but not my next call is not till next week. So.
That's cool. I mean, so like the process from like first getting reached out to like to being in Hawaii, it was only like a month or a couple months.
Yeah, a month or two. Yeah.
That's pretty quick to just like kind of uproot. Like, what were you doing before, like beforehand, or even like still what are you doing now for like work?
Before I was doing a lot of youth coaching. I did that when I lived in California as well, and I did a little bit out here in Miami. But I got kind of busy because I was doing digital marketing, and I started doing live streaming. And I do live stream management too, so I'm kind of teaching other people as well, which is super fun.
Very cool.
And, I just got really busy with that, so that's what I stuck to. And then after the show, I did the same thing, but I just kind of amped it up. And I travel a lot as well, so I'm not home half the time. But
Mhm.
that's what, yeah, I'm always doing something like that.
Yeah, so it wasn't like the craziest thing to like, kind of just uproot and go to Hawaii for a couple weeks.
No, thankfully I have like great friends, great team, and people I work with. They all, help me out, and so I'm super grateful for them. And if they ever want to go on vacation or they got a show to go on, I'm gonna do the same thing for them. So yeah,
Awesome. Yeah, a good team around you and good people around you is
exactly.
important in any industry. But so you get the call, you go to Hawaii. Now, what are you like? You're aware of the show, you're aware how it works. Like, what were you looking for? Were you looking for a potential relationship with one of these girls that were already technically in a relationship?
Yeah, well, I think I'm always open to the opportunity. I was 29, I'm 30 now, so I mean, obviously, part of our culture is romance, marriage, having a family. I'm Roman Catholic, so that's something that I really want in my life. So it's definitely a weird opportunity, but you never know what you're gonna find, especially these days. So I was definitely open to it. It's not like I was like, oh, I want one of those girls, but you just never know what's gonna happen. But at the same time, it's like I don't know. It's kind of crazy. These girls are, they're on this island. I don't know if it's gonna. Also, at the same time, it could be a red flag for me. So, but I was open to whatever's gonna happen. But it was tough. 4 girls, 12 guys, and some of them are technically in relationships, so it's like a weird concept. But whatever happens, happens. Was what my game plan was.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, like watching it, were you able to like watch it back and
I watched some of it. I know a lot of what happened, but I'm one of those few people that didn't really watch it. I don't watch reality TV, but I do need to watch. I've just been so busy, and I was just like everyone's talking about it, so I don't know if I need to watch it back. But I
no, I
definitely.
get it because I mean, I guess like the question would be like, what is it like watching yourself on reality TV? Is there like stuff that you like wish you did different, like watching it back or?
I wish there's a lot of like fun stuff we didn't do, or like a fun side of like me, and I know Hashim too. We got stuck in kind of a really friend zone situation. I don't know, maybe because we're just a couple of ugly guys or something, but we just got stuck in there. So it was not super exciting, fun, romanticized, but we did what we could. But I do wish they could show our like kind of fun side or goofy side as well.
Because it didn't look like you got showed like shown a lot like in the earlier episodes, and then by the end you were one of the last guys there. Like obviously you made a good, maybe not romantic connection, but you made a significant impact on like Alexa in particular, right?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm grateful for that. Like Alexa, we became really good friends, and I know I kind of resonated with her because her boyfriend has a similar background, and Shantae as well. Like we became good friends, and I was like her support system. So that that's like that's the rainbow at the end of the rain right there. That tough storm. So at least maybe you're not in a relationship with someone or romantic or anything physical, but at least you're there to support someone, and it's good to make it to the end as well. So that's another plus.
Definitely. And because like obviously you see the comparison between the guys' villa and the girls' villa. Like the guys' villa, obviously there was a lot more maybe just different connections being like searched for. And then like the girls' villa, it looked like a lot of you guys maybe just got friend zoned right off the bat, or they put up like way more of a wall than the guys did.
Yeah, and the so at first it was just like the first week or so was very relaxed. You know, the girls would go to the bonfire and it was like super chill. They're like, whatever. And then it just progressively got worse, which I hate to say is good for us because someone needed to be crazy on TV, right?
Hmm.
Is what we're thinking. So we'd always joke around and be like, yo, thank God for them. In reality, it's like messed up, right? It's fucked up what they did to the girls. But we're like, thank God, because if they're not going crazy, the show has no excitement in it. So they would, yeah, they'd go all crazy. And at first it wasn't as bad, then progressively it got worse. So things started to change slowly, which was super interesting.
Now, was it like after like some of the bonfires where like Ashley in particular, like when she saw like Grant fooling around with the girls over there, it would like kind of triggered it like, all right, if you're gonna you it was almost like hit me first and then I'll hit back, like a little childhood fight. Like I want you to swing and hit me first and then I'm gonna like hit you back.
Yeah, I mean, we had the queens, and the queens weren't just gonna go mess around and cheat for no reason or like leave their man for no reason, even though they could have had a reason to prior to the show. So they waited. I don't want to say they waited, but they kind of just like felt it out. And as soon as they saw, hey, like this dude's doing this, like I'm done for sure. Like Ashley in particular, I remember she comes back from one of the bonfires. I forgot how she said it, but she's like, "Guys, I'm officially single" or something. She walked in like that, and we're like, "Oh, damn!" And then things changed up after that, and it was super fun.
Awesome. Yeah. Another thing that like I've kind of noticed, it was like the girls in the guys' villa, they almost seemed like they were really pushing to like tempt the guys, like right off the bat. Like it almost seemed like I don't want to say like the producers was like, hey, you get like a bonus if you tempt one of the guys, but was there any sort of like a lot of like production input in any of the like into your guys' minds?
No, so I think reality TV gets the stigma that it's scripted, which I mean, it's reality TV, so that wouldn't even make sense to begin
Mhm.
with. But like producers will, I don't want to say they'll push you, but they'll like suggest things, right? But no, I mean, obviously, no one's going to force you. And second off, that's illegal. So like, if you don't want to do something, you don't have to do it, right?
Mhm.
So they would, kind of give you ideas or like, try and, put a small influence on you. But at the end of the day, like, it's up to you and what you're feeling. Like, I remember they suggested some things to me, and if I didn't like it, they wouldn't bother me. We had a great production team, Michelle and Pat in particular, and the people helping us were super amazing. So yeah, that's how it was. A lot of people think it's scripted, but really they're kind of going with the flow. So the girls were just wild, wild as hell just to begin with. We were like, God damn. And then we watch the show back, we hear some of their lines and things they said. We're like, Jesus Christ. So yeah, it was a little crazy. And then we're over here being like super chill gentlemen, right? So it was kind of funny.
I was gonna say like almost like all of the guys were like just perfect gentlemen, very respectful towards the girls, never like pushed anybody outside their comfort zone even. It was like, and then on the other side, it was like just black and white difference.
Right? Yeah, and it's a fine line too, especially as a man. Like it's a huge thing. Your gender makes a difference because if you're a girl and you're like kind of flirty or like bugging a guy a little bit and he doesn't want to, it's like it's whatever. If you're a guy doing that, you make one small little comment, put your hand, somewhere you shouldn't, the girl's not comfortable, you're a weirdo, you're a creep, this and that. So it's a fine line. I think it's obviously easy for girls to branch out, but I mean, either way, I wasn't going to do anything like that unless there was an opportunity where I was connected with someone. And I think the
Mhm.
other were on the same page as well. So, we're on our best behavior. We're gentlemen, and especially
Definitely.
Italians are gentlemen as well.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Yeah. So were there any like other like I mean like obviously you guys had to pass time like any like fun things or like maybe games or dates that you were included in that like just didn't get aired? You're like, oh come on, that was like kind of perfect or anything like that?
Oh yeah, there's so I mean we're filming for like a month, right? And there's 10 episodes of like about an hour, so that's only 10 hours of what was filmed of literally 10 months because they're filming almost 24/7, right?
Hmm.
Um, One thing in particular, I know we all talk about. We had a huge slip and slide day. We had like a relay race. It was super fun, and we took like a week and a half for us to get that set up. We were like practically begging. And it was. I don't know why they wouldn't put that like a little cut in there. It was super fun. So that, and then I know me and Yaman, the first date. We didn't get a first date, right? So we went home, and then we just went in the confessionals where they record. You're on the couch and you're just doing the
Hmm.
one the camera. It was both of us there, and we had like a whole little skit of us like crying about not getting on the dates. where we had like little British accents. That was super fun. I wish that one made it. And just a lot of goofy stuff we did, and just jokes that were made. Like I said, I mean, I'm glad they portrayed us, me, myself, especially, like as a gentleman, because that's truly who I am. But there's a funny side and a goofy side that I wish they showed, because I mean, that's what I was really known for in the house.
Mhm.
And also, if you got to be funny, man. I mean, good, women like a funny guy. It's good to be a gentleman, but if you're not going to make the girl laugh, it's never going to work out.
Definitely. I mean, obviously there was one day there was none, and then another day I see a big Italian flag in the villa. I go, "Who? Someone had to put that up." So when was that put up?
No, that was, I think. Oh, that there's another thing that they missed. We had a whole belly flop contest. Yeah, I think that was Yemen's idea. I want to say they did that on Love Island. I don't know where he got that idea, but it was a good idea. So we had that, and then like when I went up, I had this is the flag right here. It's the same flag.
Awesome.
I always have this with me. Um, I just like threw it on like a cape, and then I just like did a huge belly flop, and obviously the flag got wet, so I just hung it up there to dry, and production kept moving it, and I would keep putting it back. I guess eventually they just like let it in there for a while. I was like,
That's-
that's right. And
yeah, selfishly that would be a clip that I would have loved to see.
right? Come on, I know that, but another thing they missed out. But yeah, I'm glad they got the flag in there a little bit.
Awesome, awesome. So what's I guess post Temptation Island, like what's life like now? Are you dating anybody? I know you guys have been like getting together with a lot of the cast, making content, doing that, still hanging out.
Yeah, so after we were able to meet the single girls, which is super cool. Like, we all became really good friends, and I know some people started kind of talking or dating lately. Um, but anything super serious, I haven't gotten into yet. I've been so busy, and I got a lot to focus on. Trying to get some new opportunities. I know we're doing a lot of content. We just went to Cabo, which is amazing. We're like a little family
Awesome.
now, so that's the plus side too of us. Being gentlemen and us all behaving and getting along. Now we have kind of a lifetime friendship or more of a family. And I mean, I love the girls. We all get along. Particularly like who's it? Me, Yaman, Logan, Danny. I know Hashim gets in the mix too. We're all like a little family
Hmm.
with those girls. But yeah, just working right now. I'm traveling. I'm always going places and working. I'm doing a lot of work in Colombia now, South America. So I mean,
Very
things
cool.
are fun. So I'm just gonna kind of push the social media. So we have to go make a little name for more Italian Americans out there and see what I can do.
Definitely. Did you get to meet Lino after the show?
Yeah, so I saw him there was an event in LA last month, and it was kind of an unofficial like reunion
Mhm.
hangout for everybody and like a premiere party. So he was out there, and I just said what's up and congratulated them. They're getting married in Italy, which is super cool. So I mean that's super
Very
exciting.
cool.
So yeah, so I said what's up to them, and we're all good.
Very cool. I know because it was funny that you and Alexa made that connection, and obviously Lino is also a fellow Italian who is also one of the only gentleman on the other in the other villa.
But it's not a coincidence that we'll go two for two, right? I mean, the statistics are there.
Definitely, definitely. So I guess another question would be, I guess, what are you looking for right now, like in a woman and in your potential girlfriend, fiance, wife?
So I think first off, a woman that would not go on Temptation Island,
Well, that,
right?
that was a follow-up question. Would you ever go on Temptation Island with a significant other?
No, once you go on the show, it's over. Especially if you're a man, you're supposed to be a leader, right? And you're not going to control the woman, but you're going to guide her that way. So if you're going to guide her into going on to a show like that, I think unless you're some people might just do it for clout or whatever. I would not do that. It's over. Like if you're having those doubts and you got to do this and go on a show and do it, it's already over.
Mhm.
And myself as a man, I'm not going to put my woman through that, because as soon as you jump on that TV screen, everyone knows what the show's about. They're going to be like, there's some sort of instability or insecurity. And I mean, if you're a man, you're guiding your woman the wrong way. I would not do that, and I'm not date a girl on that show that would go on that show with me as well. So that's not good. But I'm looking for, like I said, a woman of faith is something I've always been missing, right? And my family, we're all Catholic, we're raised Catholic, so that's super important. If you're missing God in your relationship, it's not going to work out. And overall, I like kind of an old school, traditional marriage. I want to take care of my woman. I want to spoil her, but I know she's gonna, be taking care of the household or helping me out with stuff, and if she wants to work as well, that's fine. But just, a really faithful woman, because loyalty is hard to find. I always tell people, don't look for love, look for loyalty. It's 10 times harder to find. Any man and woman could love each other. You know, it's easy. You could be physical. You can go out with a woman. You can go out with anybody. But someone that's going to be loyal to you for life is almost impossible to find. So look for loyalty and not love. And that's what I'm looking for.
Very, very well said. We have to get you over to New York and meet some great old school Italian women around here.
Right? Yeah, I know. I know down here in Florida, there's a few, but I mean, it's we're a dying breed. But you know, it's cool. I like New York. You know, it was built by us Italian Americans, but there's a big like Hispanic population in there now, which I love because you know I grew up with a lot of Hispanics as well. So it's kind of a nice culture mix. I love it.
Well, you said you speak a bunch of different languages. What are the languages that you speak? That's something that I remember you saying on the show.
Yeah, English, Italian, Spanish, and Portuguese. My
Oh
Portuguese
wow.
is worse, but I'm pretty good at it. But yeah, I speak those four.
Oh, all the very, very attractive women of each
Yeah, right.
language.
All the languages of the pretty women. I just got to be careful.
Yeah. All right. So you find maybe a potential girl. What's an ideal first date for Giovanni?
An ideal first date.
First date. First date is, I think that's important because obviously you don't want to go to a movie where you're not talking, something like that. So what's like the perfect ideal first date for you?
Right. So first date, obviously, don't invite her over, and if she's gonna come over on the first date, like, don't date her, because
Flag in the play.
know, a really self-respecting woman's gonna know, like, hey, that's not appropriate. I don't know you as well, so hopefully, you know, you're not hanging out with your girl at your house or whatever, Netflix and chill type date on the first date. I think something food always restaurants is always safe. You don't want to do cinema movies because it's limited conversation, but you know that or you know maybe like a sporting event is good. I do love a restaurant though because you know you can talk about culture. Like maybe I'll take her out to an Italian restaurant, right? And I'll talk about some sort of gnocchi plates you've never had or some sort of pizza or pasta arrabbiata or whatever, and she'll be like, "Oh, what is that? What does that mean?" You know, it's just interesting. It leaves a lot of room for conversation because first date you want to get to know the basics of the person. So I always pick a nice restaurant. Thankfully in Miami there's a lot of fun environments, right? So you're not just going out to eat, it's kind of quiet or very light music. There's like something going on, they have people
Mhm.
dance. It's super cool. But I think restaurants always the best pick for a first date.
Awesome. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm sure any funny DMs since the show, or what's like kind of like maybe a
Uh,
famous person DM, maybe if you want to divulge one or two.
um I think a funny one is like one girl. This was like a few days ago. She DMs me. She's like, I would leave my boyfriend for you, like in a heartbeat or something. And you know, I thought I was joking. I look at her profile. Her last picture is her and her boyfriend. I was like, oh my god, it's hilarious. Terrible for the guy, but yeah. So that's one.
Yeah,
And then
she's got to go on the next season.
yeah,
Send her the casting info.
she's got to go on next season. I was like, that is wild. That's crazy. I was like, should I tell this guy or something? But whatever. Yeah,
Maybe
women.
maybe you'll see the pod. Maybe maybe.
Yeah, maybe he'll see this. Maybe I'll have to tag her. No, I'm just kidding.
Awesome. Yeah, any cool people reach out that are like fans of the show, maybe celebrities, anything like that?
A lot of a lot of people from other shows we have connected with us. Like I said, I'm not a huge reality TV guy. I don't really know everybody, but like just from like our whole group, right? You
Mhm.
know, Ashley lives down the road, so I know a lot of people are reaching out to her, and then we'll all hang out. But a lot of people from the reality TV shows, and some influencers or like live streamers, but no one's super famous yet.
Gotcha. I actually a question that slipped my mind. I meant to ask it earlier, but what did you think of the whole Breon situation and then them leaving the villas together?
So interestingly enough, it's a good day we picked this to do the Zoom call because yesterday Shantae just posted that they're parting ways,
Wow.
which is amazing for her because she deserves that. But yeah, initially when they left together, we were just kind of mind blown. You know, me and Hashim did a reaction video our first time watching, and we couldn't believe it. But yeah, I guess they just separated yesterday. I don't know the details. I don't really speak with her anymore. We don't have
Hmm.
problems. Like she's a great. I would say she's an amazing person. You know, even though I don't agree with her decision, you know, she was amazing. She was loyal even when someone wasn't loyal to her, and that's a true test of a man or woman. So I give her credit for that. You know, I didn't agree with her leaving with him. She deserved better, but I guess she found the light recently, which is good for her, and I wish her the best.
Definitely. Very, very, very well said. So I guess what's on the horizons for Giovanni now? Just hitting the grindstone, just working away.
Yeah, well, I mean, I want to buy a house. I want to have a family. So obviously, I'm just saving my money. I always try to live well below my means, and then just save and invest the rest. And then, whenever God puts a beautiful woman in front of me and hopefully things work out, I want to travel the world with her, maybe do some travel content. I think that'd be super fun. And then it's family time. I'm pushing into my 30s now. I got to get going.
All right, man. Don't push it too fast. I mean, enjoy your time for sure. Enjoy life. I know that's super important, but it seems like you got such a great head on your shoulders. Again, representing Italian Americans extremely well. I couldn't be happier. So thanks again for coming on. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, this was awesome, man. Hopefully we can talk soon. Meet in New York.
Yeah,
Everybody,
come to New York. We'll shoot some content here. I could introduce you to some awesome women that and some awesome, great, loyal Italian women that I know. And who
let's
knows? Maybe there's love in New York for you.
let's go. What's your favorite Italian dish?
Dish overall, oof. Honestly, nothing beats my mom making veal parm. Like just like I know it's not super traditional Italian, but like my mom's veal parm, there's nothing like it in the world to me.
Well, I mean, anything meat I love. So that's good stuff right there. But yeah, that's good.
What about you? Any Rex in Miami for anybody visiting down there? I know Martorano's is kind of close in Lauderdale.
There's a place I love in Miami called La Legenda, and it's a pizza. It's a pizza place, but they also have a restaurant, and they're from Napoli, so that's like where pizza's made. It
Absolutely.
tastes just like Italian pizza in Italy. So I love going there. I mean, if I take you there, it means I either love you or you're a really good friend of mine. So anyone listening to this, if we go there, you're in.
Good to know. Awesome, man. Awesome. Now, where could everybody find you? That's looking Instagram,
Yeah,
TikTok.
if you look up on like Instagram or TikTok, Giovanni Temptation Island, like you'll find me or you'll find me tagged in one of the other cast members. If not, GIOVA __ T on TikTok and Instagram. Those are my main socials.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you again for hopping on. This is awesome. My first Zoom pod in a very long time, and very happy that you could join.
Let's go. We're gonna run it back in person soon, man. I appreciate you.
100%, 100%. Everybody else, thank you so much for listening. Go follow Giovanni on all his socials. Watch Temptation Island. Like, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Ciao.